being noticed as a leader. Maybe you are in a new leadership position, maybe you're starting a business, maybe you are doing something amazing, and you know that you would like to gain a bit more visibility and just be noticed as the wonderful leader that you are. Well, in this video, we're going to talk about it, and I will share with you over 20 years worth of experience being in senior executive roles as a leader. And I'll share with you very simply a couple of things. Just I want you to keep in mind if you're at a place on your journey or in your journey rather where you're trying to be noticed as leader. Now, this topic specifically is going to be a topic that's a bit more focused on your executive presence. So when you think about executive presence, being noticed is a part of it. Now, there's a couple things I want to talk about just very briefly as it relates to this topic specifically. And one of those aspects of being noticed as a leader is that one, you need to make sure that you're ready. Okay. Number two, you want to make sure that you have a plan. Number three, you want to be consistent with your plan. And then you want to continue watching this video until the end because I'm going to share with you a couple of common mistakes or myths that a lot of times people will tend to hear about as it relates to being able to get noticed as a leader. And I want to make sure that I put you in a really good position to where you don't make some of those specific mistakes. Now, if you're new to me, my name is Dr. Jacinta, and if you are one of my absolutely amazing subscribers, welcome back, friend. I'm glad that you're here today. This channel heavily focuses in on advanced communication skills and strategies that will help you to communicate more confidently and concisely in those very high stakes, high pressure situations. This is the only channel on YouTube that focuses in on those very challenging, high stakes situations and helping you to develop those real time skills to navigate those situations so you're not the person that freezes or the person who does not know how to respond back to someone being perhaps a bit aggressive or defensive to you in a setting where the room is watching. This is the only channel on YouTube here that does this in a live format. Now, I mentioned to you that there's three aspects of being noticed as a leader that I want to touch upon, and we'll go into a little bit more detail on each one of these in just a moment. The first is, are you ready? Now, you may be wondering, what does this have to do with being noticed as a leader? I just want to be noticed as a leader. Well, being noticed as a leader comes with something that a lot of people fail to recognize or think about when they are trying to be noticed as a leader. And as I mentioned, number one is, are you ready? Are you really ready to be noticed as a leader? Now, if you want to know a little bit more about that, let me say hello to all of you that are watching live today. Let me know what part of the big, beautiful world you are joining from today. And would you like to be noticed as a leader? Put in the comments below. Let's talk about it. A lot of times people will come to me, and I've had prospective clients, I've had clients I've worked with, I've had individuals that I have worked with. I've seen it all. And I have seen some very successful individuals come to me or have conversations about, I want to be noticed, I want to be more visible, I want to transition into a different aspect of my leadership journey, etc. But are you really ready for it? Now think about it. And when I say ready for it, are you ready for that very highly visible aspect of your life that everyone is going to see? A lot of times when leaders are at a place where they want to be more visible, they say it and they mean it with all the good intentions in the world to do this. But when it comes down to it, when people are literally watching you, every single movement you make, they are hanging on to every single word that you say, it is a little bit different than what people are expecting. Sometimes people want to be more visible because they want to make more money or they want to have a bigger influence. Sometimes people want to be more visible because they just have an ego and they want to be more visible. I will share with you that majority of the time, if you're trying to go after being more visible to get noticed as a leader and your sole purpose is to inflate your ego, then this scenario that I'm mentioning to you will typically happen where you'll get to a point where all of the attention on you is something that is too much. It's too much for you. You weren't expecting that. You didn't think it was going to be this way. And then you tend to do something catastrophic that completely ruins your reputation as a leader. So when you're thinking about being noticed as a leader, I put this as number one for a reason because you have to really think about, am I really ready for this? Now, sometimes you may be offered or a situation may come up to where you are just gifted a leadership position or you are the best person for this role and you just have to go for it, even if you're ready or even if you're not ready. That's okay. But know that when you are noticed, people will really notice you. And you have to be prepared for the good and the bad because I'm here to tell you both of those situations will happen. Let me say hello to Oya N7R. Hello, welcome, welcome. We have Courtney James, 8462. Hello, welcome, welcome. Courtney asks, what is your favorite song? I have too many of them, Courtney, to mention one specifically, but really being here to support you all on your journey. Let me know what questions you have as it relates to how to get noticed as a leader. I'm here really to help you all on your journey. I just shared with you the very first strategy as it relates to being noticed as a leader is you have to really ask yourself first, number one, are you really ready? Are you really, really ready for this? And if you're new to me, welcome to this channel. This channel heavily focuses in on advanced communication skills and strategies that will help you to communicate more confidently and concisely under pressure. So you're not the person that freezes when the room is watching. Let me say hello to Brett Lambert. Hello, Brett. How you doing today? I'm going to say Rogue Hay. I hope that I said that correctly. Brett Lambert, hope you're doing well today. Let me know what part of the big, beautiful world you all are joining from today and what questions do you have about trying to get noticed as a leader. Now, I want to go into the second strategy I want to share with you today as it relates to being noticed as a leader, and that is to have a plan. I mentioned this before, and I want to know from you, how many of you have felt like you wanted to do more, you want to be more visible, you want to do all of these things, but you failed to plan? Has it happened? Has it ever happened to you before? This is something that occurs quite a bit. Now, one of the things I want to share with you is that when you decide that, yes, you're ready to be at a place where you want to have the leadership role you're looking for, you're okay with being highly visible in these type of situations, and etc., you have to come up with a plan. And the reason why I say that is because I have seen countless leaders really struggle with this. They have all of these beautiful, wonderful, amazing ideas in terms of how can they be more visible, how can they become the person that people go to, how can they get noticed, but they do not have a concise plan to help them actually figure this out. This is so important. If you need a plan, contact me directly. Reach out to me at exciteexcellence.org. I have a multitude of ways that I can support you and help you to be able to develop that concrete plan that you have. The best way for you to do this is to sign up for what's called an executive strategy session. This will completely change your life, especially if you are at a point you're in a major career transition or you're just in a really hot seat like situation that is definitely more high stakes. Then an executive strategy session will absolutely give you the clarity that you need and the action plan that you need to be able to move forward so that you get noticed as a leader. Having a plan is important. You have to have a plan. There has to be some structure. This is the reason why people struggle with becoming noticed as leaders because they don't have a formal structure in place. Many of you know that I'm an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for several years. And anytime you have a business or you have been very deep in the world of operations and logistics, there has to be systems. There has to be some type of system in place, some type of plan. If this happens, that happens, and etc. The same systems and plan needs to be in place for you as a individual and as a leader as well. These are fundamental things you have to have if you're trying to be noticed. What's your plan? Who are you going to be interacting with? Who do you want to partner with? What are some events potentially that you can host? What are a couple of ideas that you've been thinking about for a long time, but you have not taken that time to go forward with those ideas? All of those things come into play when you start to develop a plan of how you want to become noticed as a leader. Now, my third strategy I wanted to mention to you today, and then we'll talk about a couple of things that I believe are very common myths that think about how people perceive being noticed as leaders. So we're going to talk about that in a moment. But my third strategy for you specifically is going to be, can you be consistent? Now, I mentioned to you at the beginning, you have to ask yourself a question if you're ready to be noticed. Number one, are you ready? Are you really ready for this? That's number one. Number two, what kind of plan do you have? And then number three, can you be consistent? Can you be consistent with your plan on the days when it's hard? Can you? Can you? A lot of this will come down to how you are presenting yourself on a day to day basis, whether the sun is shining outside and there's a rainbow, or whether it is a thunderstorm and there's tornadoes and hurricanes outside. How do you present yourself as a leader? Now, I'll give you one secret to this that can help you when you're thinking about how can I be consistent. One of the most important aspects of being consistent as a leader is your ability to manage your emotions under pressure. How many of you feel as if you sometimes struggle when you're under pressure? Maybe you become very upset, maybe you become highly emotional, maybe you become a bit aggressive. What happens? Let me know in the comments below. But if you're trying to be noticed, people want to notice and they want to work with people that appear as if they have it together. Now, I don't believe in fake it till you make it. I don't think anyone should fake it till you make it on anything, because every time I see someone that fakes it to them till they make it will typically catch up with them at some point in time. But can you be that consistent person regardless of what's going on in the world or in your leadership position? This is how you become noticed. Because when everybody may be running around and saying, oh my gosh, the sky is falling, the sky is falling, if you are the person that can remain more calm and composed under pressure, you automatically stand out from everybody else that's running around that is thinking that the sky is falling. Now, several, I have over 1,000 videos on this channel that focus on high stakes, high pressure communication. And I guarantee you that there is some information out here that will support you on your journey. But you may want to take a look. If this topic has increased your awareness of what you may want to start working on as it relates to you being more noticed, then you may want to take a look at my Executive Presence Mastery playlist on my YouTube channel. There's several videos there that may be able to provide you with some additional insights for you to consider as it relates to helping you to become a bit more noticed. Now, you always want to have the fundamentals. I have a fundamental video playlist that talks about high stakes communication under pressure, the fundamentals. So you definitely want to take a look at that. Watch out for any of my videos that talk about eye contact. You want to listen out for my cowboy analogy. Any videos that talk about managing your emotions under pressure, body language, tone of voice, and etc. All those videos will help you to be able to start implementing ways that you can be consistent in terms of how you are interacting with other people and how you are communicating with other people as a leader. All of these things I've shared with you, and there's a lot more I can share with you. You absolutely want to subscribe to the channel if you want to learn a lot more. But these three aspects, these three strategies that I've shared with you will give you a place to start if you are someone who is in a situation where you want to be noticed as a leader. Make sure you're ready for it, because there's good things that will happen with you becoming noticed. There's bad things that will happen with you becoming noticed, and you just have to be prepared for that. If you are someone that is obviously watching this channel and clicked on this video, you're a very special type of individual, and you are likely the person that is either in an executive role, you're in a public figure type of format in terms of how you present yourself. You are the person that perhaps is a CEO of a business. You are very public and forward facing. Therefore, being ready and understanding that there is good things that will happen with you becoming very visible as a leader. There are bad things that will happen. as you become visible as a leader, making sure you map out a plan, knowing that your plan may change, but the overall consensus or structure or outcome of the plan should be for you to be more visible in front of more people, and then making sure you're consistent. It doesn't matter. I can't tell you how many times when I've done live videos here on YouTube, whether I have been exhausted, I have maybe had a really rough day, I have been stressed, but I don't come on YouTube to share that with you because I want to be an example for you all, regardless of what's going on with me or the day or etc. I want you all to see the same consistent Dr. Jacinta that you see all the time, regardless of what's happening. Now, I share this with you in terms of consistency because this by far is the number one reason why I see leaders struggle with developing their executive presence. And if you cannot develop an executive presence, then you're going to struggle to be noticed as a leader. And I simply do not want you to make those mistakes and find yourself in a situation where you're having a frustrating day, you're over it, you're tired, you're exhausted, and this one situation happens and you end up blowing up at someone, going off and saying something that is completely inappropriate, all because you simply were not prepared to be consistent, regardless of the way it looks outside, the way you're feeling. I'm sharing with you secrets, friends. And these are things that leaders struggle with. Leaders you see today, they struggle with this also. I want to know from you, have you been in a position where you have seen leaders just completely just lose it? They just completely just lost it. They go off on people. Has it happened to you? Have you seen that? Put in the comments below because I guarantee you, you have. I have seen that countless times, which is the reason why consistency is so important. And if you're struggling with this, if you are struggling with being consistent, maybe you feel as if you're at a place where you just simply you just can't be consistent. There's something that prevents you from doing so. Maybe you're saying, I have good days, I have bad days. We all have good and bad days. We all have good and bad days. But how you handle them in here, in your mind, directly will impact your ability to be noticed and it will absolutely impact you as a leader. If you're a woman in leadership, you're always welcome to reach out to me at exciteexcellence.org. If this topic is of interest to you, an executive strategy session really is the first way, the first step to helping you be able to identify exactly what it is that may be preventing you from being consistent, that's preventing you from being noticed. I guarantee you there may be things that come up for you during our time together when you work with me that you probably have not thought about that will actually help to springboard your progress so that you start developing your executive presence, being able to communicate under pressure a lot faster than you would if you were by yourself. There's only but so much I can do for you here on YouTube in a group setting, and you know I appreciate every one of you that watched the video, whether you're a subscriber of mine or not. But ultimately, I can only do so much in a group setting. Sometimes you just have to work with me to really make that movement and invest in yourself so that you can be light years ahead of other individuals as they're communicating. Now, I promised you, outside of the three strategies I want to share with you as it relates to how to get noticed as a leader, I wanted to share with you a couple of things that people talk about a lot of times as it relates to being noticed as a leader. And I just want to share with you why these topics that are mentioned are really not the ways to get noticed. One of the ways that I hear, and I'm saying this in no specific order, just as they come to my mind. One of the ways that people feel as if they can only get noticed as leaders is if they stay late and they work long hours. People will tell you you have to work hard, you have to work late, you have to do this, you have to do that. I'm here to share with you. I've been in senior executive roles for over 20 years. And just because you stay late, just because you are appearing to work a little harder, that doesn't mean that you are the person that is going to get noticed in a positive way. Many times, the people that are going to get noticed are the people who can work within the time frames that they have that can reduce overhead on your businesses, your practices, or your companies, and the people that can be very efficient with their time. So the next time someone tells you you need to stay late, you got to stay late, you have to stay late, please remember what I'm sharing with you now. Please don't fall for that mistake. Please. Many people fall for these misconceived thoughts that we have or that have been passed down to us from generation to generation in terms of how specifically we need to get noticed. And some people think staying late, working long hours is the way. I'm telling you right now, it's not. It's not the way. There's more efficient ways for you to manage your time. You just have to be willing to do so. Another common mistake or myth, I would say, that people say as it relates to getting noticed, as a way to get noticed, is to basically be highly favorable to certain people. And essentially, you're sucking up to other people. Now, I don't believe in that. I've never done that. That's not something I advocate for on the channel as at all, because I believe you put yourself in a very, 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 very precarious situation when you do things like that. But people out there think, oh, you got to be nice to your boss. Oh, you got to be nice to your your direct reports. Oh, you got to be nice to these people. You got to really be nice to them. Well, I don't believe in living life that way. And for those of you who are subscribed to my channel, you know me well enough to know that if something comes up and I don't agree with it, I will say I don't agree with it. I do not believe in being extra, extra, extra nice to someone just because you want to be noticed. There has to be a line in the sand. And this is something that I can't make you understand. It's something that you intuitively have to have. If you do not have it, you can develop it. But there has to be a boundary, whether it is a physical boundary or an invisible boundary that you have that represents a line, a place, a situation that you will not go towards. Now, for example, for myself, when it comes to these situations, being nice to people, I'm always nice and polite to people, regardless of what their roles are. I'm not the person that's going to sit there and be extra nice to someone because maybe they're at a higher level of leadership or maybe they're on a board or etc. I just don't believe in working that way. I believe you should have very genuine, very authentic conversations with individuals and let that conversation you have with that person be so memorable that they remember you and they consider you as someone that should be noticed as a leader based on the conversation that you're having. But for me, I cannot tell you how many business opportunities that I have had as an entrepreneur where I have been in a position where I could say, "Oh, this organization would be great to work with," or maybe I really would love to be able to partner with these individuals, but I'm not going to sit there and go out my way and appear desperate ever in my life to try to gain someone's business. I don't operate that way, and I highly encourage you all not to do that. Many, many people, friends, they struggle with this and they think that this is the best way for you to be able to make movement where you can be able to grow and get noticed because you have to say you really like this person, you like this person a lot, you have to do all these things. And I'm telling you right now, you just need to be yourself. Do not be the person that is ever, 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 or that ever comes across as being desperate. Okay, let me see you in the chat. Richard Smith. Hello, Richard. How far, Richard? Good to see you, friend. Good to see you. Richard says, greetings and stellar good evening to you and yours, Doc. Northeast Ohio says, hi, hearts and flowers. Well, thank you. I mean, not hearts, but flowers and flowers. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Richard, and I appreciate you being a part of the channel and appreciate your comments that you have on the channel as well. Good to see you, friend, as always. And love to hear your insights on the topic as well. And Richard gives a wave back. Appreciate that, Richard. As I mentioned, we are just talking about a couple of places, a couple of aspects of how to get noticed that you hear a lot of times people tell you what to do. They tell you to work extra, extra long hours. They tell you to be really nice or try to suck up to certain individuals, I would say, please don't do that. Do not do that because you're building relationships with people that are not genuine. And I'm telling you, it'll come back. It'll come back. And when it comes back to give you a hard time, it'll probably be much, much worse than what you expected. Another thing I hear people say randomly sometimes as it relates to how to get noticed as a leader is that you have to be the loudest person in the room. How many of you have heard that? How many of you have heard in order for you to be noticed, you have to speak up? You do need to speak up, but do you have to be the loudest person in the room? Let me know if you've heard that before. I've heard a lot of people talk about that, and they believe that being the loudest person in the room is the best way to get noticed. Now, let me say this. If you are loud, you will be noticed. Now, this is true. I know you're probably thinking, wait, you said don't be loud. Or maybe this is not the best way to be noticed. Yes, sometimes the loudest people, majority of the time, the loudest people in the room will be noticed, but they will not be noticed for the right reasons. They're typically noticed for the wrong reasons. I have been in a situation where there was an individual that was always in our meeting, and this person, friends, oh my gosh, it didn't matter what was being said or what was being discussed, whether it's in her realm of experience or not, she always has something to say, and it's not as if she said it for just a second. No, she talked about it for at least 10 minutes, and she would always be the loudest person in the room. Now, initially, people said, okay, well, maybe that's how she communicates. But over time, people started to get tired of that nonsense, and therefore, was she noticed? Mhm. Oh, yes, she was. But everyone associated with her with being highly annoying because she just always projected herself as being the loudest person in the room. You do not want to do that. Please do not think that being the loudest person in the room is the best way for you to get noticed. It is a way for you to get noticed, nonetheless, but it is a way for you to be noticed in the wrong way. Making sure that you are able to handle yourself under pressure and be able to read the room. We talk about this a lot on the channel and how important this is, but being able to read the room, see what's going on, be very, very mindful of the conversation that is being said and how you can strategically provide insights or strategies or ideas that can help your business, your project, your company move forward is really the best way for you to be noticed outside of building relationships. And that's going into my fourth and final one that we'll talk about this evening. Now, when you're trying to be noticed, some people, as I mentioned before, they'll tell you you have to suck up to people, you have to be extra nice to people, you have to do a couple things we've talked about. Some people will say, make sure you build relationships with as many people as possible. There's pros and cons to that. When you and it depends on your role. It depends on what you're doing. There are times when you are going to have to be highly, 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 highly visible. And depending on where you are, if you're an entrepreneur or you are someone working in a business setting, you want to build relationships, but you should not necessarily go at it from a place of just numbers or you're just checking off boxes. I talked to this person, I talked to this person, I talked to this person. That's not the way you want to do it. It should be very natural conversations that you have with a lot of people. Now, you may be at an event and maybe you are trying to speak to as many people as you can, but sometimes you have to understand that the type of conversation, the way you make people feel will carry so much more of a significant weight for you to be noticed as a leader than someone that is just going from place to place saying, hello, hello, how you doing, etc. Sometimes it's not always best to just chase the numbers, especially as it returns of building relationships with people. And a lot of times people will tell you this. Talk to many people as you can, say hello, what you're doing, see how you can help them, or see how they can buy something from you and then go about your business. That's not the right way to do it. Build genuine conversations. If you gain more insights or more depth from that one conversation you had compared to 50 of them, then I would much rather prefer to have really high quality conversations than just to say I talked to 50 people at an event or I talked to 100 people in my company. Sometimes people just forget these simple things I'm sharing with you. And a lot of times, these thoughts, these myths, have been passed down from generation to generation, and people think, oh, I just need to talk to as many people in my company. Well, you probably will get around to talking to as many people as you can if you focus on a couple of the strategies we've mentioned at the very beginning that will help you to start becoming that person that is being noticed. Now, I shared with you 3 strategies today, and then we had a very candid conversation about what are some myths that you have heard people say and do as it relates to getting noticed as a leader. I want to know from you. Now, what are some strategies that you think work really well for someone to be noticed as a leader? Number 1. Number 2, what do you think people should not do when they're trying to be noticed as a leader? What do you think? Put them in the comments below. Whether you're watching the live video now or watching the replay, I appreciate you all so much. And many of you know I'm on a mission to build the largest high stakes, high pressure communication content library for leaders on planet Earth. And I cannot do this by myself. We will be able to do it collectively together. Therefore, anything you put in the comments that talks about this topic specifically will be reviewed by other people years from now. And we are working together collectively to build the largest library of that very, very challenging situations that come up as leaders so that people in the future know how to navigate those situations. Many leaders know how to communicate. Most leaders know how to communicate. But when the conversation goes under pressure, when the question and answer sessions after you've given a presentation goes in a different direction, or when someone's trying to give you a hard time, or if someone is trying to make you look bad, or if someone is trying to simply question your competence, that is under pressure. And knowing how to navigate those situations is one of the most important skills that you will want to learn how to master. And you will do that by doing 2 things. 1, subscribing to this channel, because this is the only channel on YouTube that will help you to do this in a real life setting to the point where you have actionable items that you can start implementing in your conversations in your day-to-day situations immediately. Many other channels here that talk about perhaps communicating in challenging situations have really good content, but some of them are so highly academic in nature, you can pick up like that. This person has probably talked about being under pressure, but maybe they haven't been in it. I have been in very friendly and very contentious situations, which is why I speak this information from my experiences so that you all don't make these mistakes. So that's number 1, subscribe to the channel. Number 2, come and work with me. Come and work with me. Let me help you be that person, that leader that stands out exceptionally well compared to everyone else. The way you can do this is if you are able to communicate confidently and concisely under pressure. Reach out to me at exciteexcellence.org. Let's partner together. Let's get you where you need to be so that you're the person that stands out from everybody else. As I mentioned, I have several playlists that are on my channel now. Feel free to take some time and look at those playlists. If you have any colleagues, friends, loved ones that you know are struggling with really speaking up and really being able to manage themselves under pressure, feel free to share the channel with them. I appreciate all of you, all of my amazing subscribers that have shared the channel to other people. I'm here to support you any way that I can. If you are watching any of my videos, any of them, and you find yourself in a topic where you want to learn more about it, or something really resonates with you, just put it in the comments below. I will do a video just for you and give you a shout out in the video if the conversation or the question you have requires a lot of depth. Nonetheless, I'm here to help you. Let me know what you need help with. Please come to me with the hard things, the very hard situation you're dealing with. That's my expertise. I will help you with the easy things, but the hard things is really what I'm very experienced at. So I will see you all tomorrow evening when we have Q&A. Come with any questions you have as it relates to a topic. I will have the topic ready. I'm not sure which topic we're going to talk about, but nonetheless, Question and answer time, friend. Feel free to ask me any questions tomorrow evening, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.